So I thought I'd give everybody an update. Here's my frame I'm going to use. It's an 85 Monte Carlo. Anyway, so there it is, 85 Monte Carlo frame. So I'll use the front section. We'll cut that off. Probably end up cutting it right about here. Zoom right there. That part. And then the back, we'll have to line it up and see how that's going to work, but that rear frame will be grafted in the back. So still got to get this cut apart. Got to get the motor out, it's sold. Got a buddy that needs some parts off it, and so we'll get that thing taken apart shortly. That's an update on the frame. I'll go inside and show you some more stuff inside. So as you can see, I don't have anything crazy tool wise here. I made this brake myself. I've got, obviously you can see behind me, the English wheel hanging up behind me there, just from local hardware store. What goes on sale quite often, and you can get a good deal on it. Same thing with the, I don't know if you can see that, but my shrinker stretchers. Would be awesome though. Big thing that I do recommend is having a stand for your shrinker stretchers with the pedal, the foot pedal. It's quite difficult to use with the arm. It's quite tough to get that and get the panel to bend. It would be way easier to be able to hold the panel with both hands while you're working it. So I do recommend that. If space is limited in here too, you can see. I'll kind of pan around slowly, not to make you guys dizzy, but I don't have a whole lot of room in here. A lot of tools crammed in, don't have a whole ton of room, so floor space is crucial and key here, so that's why I didn't go with the floor stand, but I think I'm gonna get it. I think I need it if I'm gonna be using it more, especially if I'm gonna end up doing these quarter panel pieces here, which I may end up buying them because I found a place that makes them and it's not too expensive. Of course, everything for us being Canadian, everything's done in the US. So everything is US dollars, so that adds a lot to it right now. So hoping that the dollar gets a little bit better by the time I need those, but once I get these rockers done, so I need more gas. Ran out of gas in my trusty welder. Thanks to my Hobart. Just a little, I'll show you here, Hobart 125 handler. This thing is actually really awesome. I like it quite a bit. Was inexpensive, went on sale because they actually discontinued it, but it went on sale, so that's why I got it. But it works well. Worked well to weld up this brake and the thicker steel on that. Works great for body panels, obviously, because you can dial it down a bit, but I'm out of gas. Yeah, once I get that rocker welded on this side, I can spin the car around, and then we can do the driver's side once I get that tacked in, because it really, from right now, there's not a lot of work to get that rocker panel finished. So I'll spin it around, do the other side, then the body is coming off. I may do a few of the patches in the trunk, I'm not sure yet. Don't know if I really care, because now with that new front suspension outside, or rear suspension I should say, I'm gonna end up cutting the back floor, which I wasn't originally gonna do, but I'm gonna end up sectioning the rear floor. If you want to see what I mean, I can show you. Give me 1 second. So I'm gonna end up cutting this floor mainly. I've got some supports here, so I got weasel around them. Mainly in this area. This area around here will have to be cut out on both sides, and possibly into the trunk as well. So that'll need to be cut out to probably fit that rear suspension in, but it'll be so much better. Anybody that's ridden in a G body knows that they ride well, so that'll be a lot nicer. I'm keeping the whole dash stock original, hoping I can use the gauges. I don't know how well they're gonna work, but I'm hoping I can keep the gauges and everything. I want to keep this dash original. I'm gonna even try to keep the key in the dash, even though that column has a key in it. So we'll see how that works, but pretty good score to grab that column with tilt and cruise. Cruise would be cool. Still trying to decide on what motor and transmission, everything to run. Ideally, and I know that people are gonna get angry about this, but I don't care, it is what it is. I was gonna do an LS. LS swap is the least expensive sort of route to go, believe it or not. Small block Chevys are still quite expensive. I did the math on figuring it out, and not even purchase price of the motor, difference between an LS and a small block Chevy is $200 in all the parts that you would buy. So I basically said it'd be about $1,200 to get a small block Chevy up and running and everything on it. That's new carburetor, new intake, all that stuff. And then so for the LS, it'd only be about $1,400. That's including fuel pump, computer, harness, all that stuff. I could do the harness myself, so I could take out the, roughly $400 or whatever to get someone to modify a harness. So I could take that out, I could do it myself. So that saves a big chunk of money. And sure, if I got a small block Chev, I could run the stock intake or carb if that's what came on it or whatever. But trying to find a small block Chev with an overdrive transmission, it's not easy. Who would have thought? Yes, I am gonna chop the top too. So that's the next thing that I mentioned to do, but of course I'm not gonna do that till the frame's done, until it's sitting on the frame that it's gonna live on. Because I want everything to be solid, I want everything to be sturdy. I'll put all new body mounts in it, bolt it down on the new frame, or partially new frame, I guess. It's all gonna be made up of old parts, new to the car. So once that's all done, then the next step will be chopping the top. I'm not going to take a whole lot out. Basically what's going to happen, just if you guys want to know, I'm going to cut the front, cut the back. And so hopefully you can hear me over the heater. Of course the heater came on. So it's all about how I can lay this windshield down. I don't want to lengthen this back piece because I don't really like the way that they looked. Any of the pictures I've seen, when you add in here, I want to try and leave this the same size. So basically I'm going to do, actually there's a few guys that do chops like this too, but I'm going to basically slice it along the bottom of the windshield. There's actually quite a bit underneath this. The windshield actually is up here, so there's quite a lot of body here, and so I can modify this trim piece as well, and hopefully have it so that the two of these don't interfere too much. I've seen a lot of guys, what they end up doing is trimming this corner off. But essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to lay that window down and see how far down I can get it. Now I don't want this thing to be chopped radical. I don't want it to be, I don't want my windows to be tiny, teeny tiny in the back. So however far I can get this back window down, that's going to dictate the rest of the chop. If I can only take out 3 inches in the back here, or 2 inches, then I'll only take 1 inch out of the front. I know it doesn't seem like much to do, but I also want the roof to be raked. It's got to follow basically the natural curve from the trunk all the way up for me to do it the way I like it. I'm trying to do this inexpensively too. Everything I sort of try to do on my cars is inexpensive, because I don't think that you need to go out and you need to spend a ton of money to do these cars. I think if you do a lot of it yourself, and shop around and find the best deals, buy stuff on sale, things like that, you can do it relatively inexpensively. I am going to go air ride on this car as well, all the way around. I don't think I'm going to go with a serious air management system on it. I may just do manual valves, be relatively inexpensive. I may change my mind. I may want the full air ride management system, because it would be nice to be able to, as soon as you start the car, it hits the ride height that you want. Want to have this thing done for August. Maybe not be at the Jalopy Jam Up. I don't know. But I'm hoping to have this thing done for at least August. So that's what I'm shooting for. Will it happen? No idea. Is it a pipe dream? Maybe, but I'm trying, and I'm gonna push hard going forward and try to get a lot of this stuff done. Again, the rockers are pretty well done now. Now that I've got them dialed in. Obviously, doing the one side always takes longer than doing the other. So now that I've got this side done, the other side will be a lot easier because I've made my mistakes already. So it'll be easier. Where that set me back too, because I did these the first time, cut it all back out because it was horrid. Yeah, I did an awful job. So I cut it all back out, redid it. Originally was doing it in 20 gauge steel. Another buddy of mine recommended do it in 18 gauge. So 18 gauge, it's tough to get the outer bent up, but in the long run, it'll be strong. I am gonna shoot more, like I say, I wanna get the camera out here, get it set up better, so you can see as I go along what I'm doing, where I'm welding, how I mess up, because that's always funny, and I'm not afraid to show people that I mess up. Listen, we're all human, we all make mistakes, and especially me, because I'm in no way a professional at this. So I'm just going with it and just building stuff and learning as I go too. Listening and talking to a lot of people that have done this before. And so I'm just learning from them and using their advice. So thanks for watching. And again, like I say, hopefully there'll be a little bit of pause here because I'm going to be pretty busy with work, which means that when I'm home on weekends and, you know, really want to spend time with my family instead of be out here in the garage. So I'm going to be away for a bit, so I'll be a little pause here in the YouTube videos, but then I hope to get back at it and get them rolling. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, please. It'll help me out. Don't know where I'm going here with this channel, but the more people I get subscribed, the better it'll be. Thanks.